So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the IT Experts Podcast, the only podcast to help ambitious IT and tech business owners increase their sales, profit and productivity. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the IT Experts Podcast. My name's Ian Luckett, and today I want to talk to you about probably one of the most powerful things that's helped me grow my business and helps me grow, scale, build confidence, build accountability, get results for my clients, which is all about the peer-to-peer group. Now, I do have my own peer group called the IT Experts Mastermind. There is no lie, you'll go and find it all over on the website. But what I want to explain to you today is about how this really, really powerful combination of education, accountability, structure, support can help you take your IT and your tech business to the next level. So what is a peer group? Business owners' peer groups are business leaders' peer groups. Have been around for many, many years. I first heard of them while I was reading Napoleon Hill's book, and he started coining the phrase in about 1925 about the Mastermind group. And it's basically where other businesses, other business owners all join up, build trust, build rapport, and share with each other what's going on in their businesses to help them out and to help them grow their businesses and to make business not such a lonely place. When I left school back in the day, I can't quite remember what year that was now, but it was a few years ago. That's when you kind of think your education ends. Then obviously you got university and then you end up into a role in business. But the really important thing is that when you actually get entrenched in business and you start learning about business, you're just constantly learning, and you're constantly growing. And as you go through your business life, you will pick up new skills, you will pick up, leadership skills, you'll pick up business development skills, you'll pick up things that interest you and align up with your values. Like the board we've got here from Dr. John DeMartini behind us. There's another podcast all about values, but that's a whole nother story. But you build up all of these skills and it helps you to, generate a sustainable and a structured business growth plan. So when I left corporate in 2017, I think it was, I was looking for some support. I was looking for some help and some support, and I found a mentor. And I found a mentor who had done what I'd already done. Now, I thought at the time, probably like most of you guys and girls out there, that finding somebody who's made these mistakes before would mean that I won't make those mistakes. That's sometimes true. I think the methodology works really well. I think sometimes the systems and the processes work really well. But what really can affect your business, growth success, unfortunately, for those on video, is what's going on in your head. It's your mindset, it's your ability to stay focused, it's your ability to stay on a plan, and it's your ability to learn things you need to learn right now to help you take your business to the next level. Now, I would contradict myself to the hilt if I wasn't in a peer group myself. I joined a peer group 2.5 years ago, I think now, nearly 3 years ago. And it is full of about 135 of the UK's best trainers, speakers, coaches, and consultants. The important thing about the peer group that I have is I've now got a network you would not believe how big it is. And at the end of my phone, I can phone up somebody, whether it be about client onboarding, social media, delivery, coaching methodology, accountability, anything that's to do with the coaching business support, environment. And that's what we've created with the IT Experts Mastermind. We've created our own special and unique mastermind program. And basically what I've done is I've taken all of the things that I've learned while working in, 20 years in corporate, all of the things about leadership. When I was 27, I was managing 65 people, all the things about team building, business development, bid writing, contract management, finance, all of those things over those years. And I've just boiled them down into this amazing group, this amazing structure, I think, where business owners can come and they can learn and understand how it all works. So we're going to run through some of the things now about what the peer group is, or what a peer group is, and how it can help you build that confidence and help you, with your business and the support and accountability. So how do peer groups work? Essentially, what will happen with a peer group is you'll join a group, and then you'll turn up there maybe once a month. It may be once a quarter. It may be every half a year, whatever it might be, the format. And there'll be a regular group. Within that group, when you first start, it can be a little bit but a little bit nervous because you're the new kid on the block and things like that. And also you're very, very guarded, and particularly in the tech space, people can be very, very guarded about what I know. And if I'm going to give it all to my competition, and you don't want to share all of your top tips and your top secrets. Number one, I think, is the most important thing to have when you enter a peer group is to have a growth mindset and kind of a giving mindset as well, so that you're going to give. And when you give enough, guess what happens? It was Zig Ziglar that said back in the day, if I help enough other people get what they want, then I'm going to get what I want. So when you come into the group, there is enough clients out there. There's enough software applications out there. There's enough IT support companies. There's enough other types of businesses out there to feed the whole lot of us, to be quite honest with you. But so you need to have that growth mindset, and you need to understand how that works. So you meet up, regularly, once a month, whatever it might be, and you start to build trust. You start to share with others what's working. You start to learn what isn't working. Now, I've sat in a peer group meeting with my peer group, my coach's peer group, and I've sat there all day and listened and helped other people out. And they've sort of said, well, how are you getting on with LinkedIn, or what are you doing around this area? Or, what's the one best thing for a webinar strategy, or whatever it might be. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, one person would say one thing about a 92-day accelerator program that they were running. And in actual fact, they were running it for a property company. And that exact format just worked straight into the business. And we developed a 92-day program on the back of that, specifically for IT and tech businesses. Now, it was, using the same application, but it's just listening and making sure that you understand, or you're knowing what's kind of going on in the room, and you're hearing what other people are having challenges with. And when you start helping other people out, start helping you out. I mean, it starts with a natural relationship building, and you start to build up that confidence in sharing some of your stories, because all of a sudden, you're not the smallest guy in the room. There'll be other people coming into the room, and they'll start to help you with your journey, whatever that might look like. So you can get different types of peer groups in terms of having a peer group that will have different parts of industry. So you might have somebody who's a managing director, someone from HR, someone from logistics, somebody from, marketing or sales or whatever it might be. And you have those in the group, and you might go in, and they're like virtual boards. So there's a few of those around now. Some of them are really, really good. And that's kind of like for general business. And that will be, that would work well if you're in a smaller organization and you want to join have a virtual board for accountability, but not actually, your business isn't big enough for a board itself. Industry specific peer groups, which is mainly what we're kind of talking about today, are really powerful because you get to know exactly what's going on in industry itself. And, in the tech space right now, whether it be with, MSP tactics for lead generation, or whether it be for software validation, or whether it be for any other kind of tech-based business, the one thing that we know at IT Experts is that your brains are wired in certain ways as tech business owners. And you're wired in the fact that you want to get involved in the tech. You love the tech, but when it comes around to talking sales to someone, you're kind of a little bit scared about it, and it's kind of not really working very well. And these are the things that we just build up confidence with. So in our peer group, we have a section in there where we actually pitch to each other, and we kind of share, and have a bit of a laugh and a joke, actually, to be quite honest with you, about what is the validation of your product or your service or your solution. How is it going to work? What are the conversation we have quite a lot in the group is about what's the actual thing that your client's buying from you. And it's not the technical aspects of the work. It's normally around a feeling. It's normally around a want for a desire to make things a little bit better. And those are the kind of the open and honest conversations that I love to just let the group spin with, to be honest with you. But when you're having an industry specific, peer group, then you get to really understand what's going on in the area of tech business growth, and really what's working and kind of what isn't working as well. So in terms of the format for the peer group, as I mentioned before, what you get is you normally get a monthly or regular meetup. One of the things that we do, I'm very, very structured around kind of like nailing in a return on investment straight away. And the reason that I do that is because I remember when I first started my coaches peer group, I think I'll refer to it so it's kind of nice and clear. I spent half an hour with my sales coach straight after my initial strategy session, as it would be, with the main guy. And the next day after that, I was learning new things, learning new ways to talk to people, understanding how you can kind of help more people, because that's really what it's about at the end of the day. And the next day I closed about £10,000 worth of business, which was unbelievable, because it was all sitting in my phone. It was all there ready. It was all leads that I've been warming up and that I've been talking to people about how we're helping them. And I think the really important thing for me, and everything kind of around the values of IT experts, is when people are ready, they'll come and buy. I don't want to be sold to, and I don't like to sell to other people. I like to share the information, which is why I put this podcast together, because I think it's important for people who are sitting there wondering, well, what's it all about? How does it work? What am I going to get out of it? What's the benefit, and kind of all these things. So I thought it'd be really interesting just to put it out there so you can kind of understand. But from a return on investment point of view, that was a pretty good investment of mine. £10,000 the next day. Would I have got those sales? Yeah, I probably would have done. But it might have taken me 3 or 4 months. One of the things that the peer group and extended learning, I think is the way we need to phrase it. It's going to accelerate your results. It's going to accelerate your closing. It's going to accelerate your marketing activities. Now, I had a client the other day. He went to a marketing agency and he said, "Hey, these guys, they're going to spend £700 a month, do a bit of brand recognition." And I went, "Brand recognition on what?" He said, "Well, they're going to put some posts out on," and I said, "On what platform?" He says, "On every platform." And I said, "Look, come on, let's just boil this down. What are you actually going to get? What was the strategy that they were using?" And what they were going to do was they were basically going to put the same content out across all different platforms, and it would have got absolutely no results whatsoever. Now, if you want to learn a little bit about marketing, then jump over and listen to a podcast I've just released for a guy called Terry Forsey, who is essentially a tech and software marketer, an expert in marketing. And we did a really nice, punchy, powerful podcast, 3 Ps there. And it was all about how marketing really, really works. And we just quashed this situation for this client. And I said, "Look, that's just not going to work for you. You need to look at things in a different way." And we fed him off a different way. He did a bit more validation, spoke to the group, spoke outside the group, spoke to some experts. And guess what? He didn't end up using that company for 700 quid a month because it was absolute waste of money. And he's now going to get a better bang for his buck by attending another course, which is going to help him build up, some of the tactical marketing sources that he needs within his business. So let me just explain a little bit about how the concept of the peer group has actually helped me out. So about 3 years ago, I joined my peer group. And right now, probably in the last 6 months, I've pretty much used some of the most amazing business owners in there, from an SEO point of view, email marketing point of view, website design point of view, app delivery, coaching, just learning how to coach and help and support people, just, using disc profiles and things like this. I never thought I'd get that out of it. I joined the program to help me, pretty much as a bit of an insurance policy, actually, against, me growing the business and helping me develop the business so that I can help more IT, MSP and tech businesses. And it wasn't too long before I soon realized, it takes a little while to kind of get your head around it, but once I'd realized that I got this network of people who were trusted. I could walk into a room and I could trust every single one of them. Obviously, you need to do your validation around businesses because not every businesses operate the same way. But when you see people rocking up, showing up, helping each other out, and they're becoming an authority in their field, all of a sudden you could go to one guy, "Help me out, write some emails. What's the best email sequence to write? Could you have a quick look at my website and see what you think?" And I've had those difficult conversations. I'm kind of big enough and ugly enough and born enough scars to get a punch on the nose every now and then, just to sort of like say, "Look, check in from what you're doing, talk to the other members." And now I've got this amazing, I think there's about 135 coaches right now in this group. And I could probably say a lot of them are now turned into friends, which is amazing, because, they're helping me, I'm helping them with things that are working out. But the support, the associated support as well in the sales, in the marketing, in the email campaigns that you also get from the company as well. This business is not getting any smaller. We're just about to move into a bigger office where we're going to get our own Mastermind suite, which is going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait for you guys to see it. So look, the business is growing itself, and to enable me to help more businesses, I need a bigger team, and that bigger team can then also drop down and also help the clients as well with the sales and the marketing, because we know what's going on. So Going back to the return on investment, as soon as we get a return on investment is really important. Now, the first thing we do is I want to get everyone a plan together. It's something that's really important to me in my business. It's kind of the way I'm wired. It's the way that I work. And I want to get you a plan together so we can get you some quick wins straight away. And my job is to make sure that you just do stuff that matters and you don't do stuff that doesn't matter, because shiny ball syndrome is all over the place at the moment, especially particularly with all the stuff around this whole COVID thing going on and, business change and how that's working. And staying on track is one of the most important things, and having that accountability is one of the really amazing things. We've actually just released a new app that enables me to be, can you believe it, if you'd really want it, an Ian in your pocket. So you put your accountability into the app at the end of the meeting, and then you get prompted. How'd you get on with the accountability? Ian, last week you said you're going to do this. How's that going? And we've got this new technology. We've invested in new technology to help us to get the clients the better results quicker. It's the thing about the speed that's most important. So do a business review. We kind of get your measurement. We've got some scoring systems. So as soon as you come in, we can score you. We know exactly where you are. And here's your score out of 100. And then guess what happens? In 3 months' time, we check your score again. Well, we don't actually. We check it every month, but we review it, properly every kind of 2 or 3 months. And we look at how far you've got. What's the things that we need to help you take your business forward? What's the one thing that helps you take your business forward? Gary Keller, great book. What's the one thing? You only ever need to focus on one thing at a time to make sure our businesses are successful. But when you overflood it, guess what happens? You get in overwhelm, you get distracted, you don't get the results, and all of a sudden you get frustrated because you're not getting where you need to be. So keeping people accountable is really important, making sure that they've got that plan. And then every time they come to a checkup session, every time they come to a monthly meeting, they've got their plan, they know what they need to achieve, and they know what the logical next step is. When does it work really, really well? The best people who get the best results out of any peer group would be the ones that show up, would be the ones that contribute, would be the ones that want to help other people, would be the ones that listen to things that's going on in the room to understand, what's working out in larger businesses. We had a section last month where we just said, look, who do you need to know to help you drive your business forwards? And we went around the room and everybody listed out who they needed to know. And it was amazing, the size of the network of the people in the room. And you just get those results. But really the number one thing, and I talk about it quite a lot if you haven't heard me say it before, it's about implementation. It's just about having a plan, implementing it, getting your results. Simple as that. And, for complete transparency, if my business model can get to so that those results outweigh the fee for the mastermind, then guess what happens is, I've got a really nice business model there. I've got a great client who's getting some brilliant results. He knows other tech businesses, and it helps me to help more people. That's kind of why I get up in the morning. So that's some of the things that work really, really well, But I did get asked the other day, I've got all the successes and I've listened to you, watched your testimonials, and I've seen all of this good stuff. But tell me about some of the horror stories. Tell me about some of the things when it went wrong. I'm glad to say there aren't any horror stories, which is a good place for me to be. But there are some situations, you do get clients that come in and join. You get clients that come in and leave. Their businesses might change. We've had some situations where there's been some large projects that have swallowed up and consumed some clients. Now, the whole plan around the business peer group for the tech business owners is that as quick as we possibly can, we understand and we structure out the things that you need to do, that you need to focus on, what we call 1,000-pound tasks. And we then look at how we can delegate, we structure accountability and, measurement and success tasks for the rest of your team. If you don't do that, you are going to get consumed. And I guess this is one of the first things when it doesn't work, is when you do get consumed by the tasks yourselves. It's like growing any business. If I look back 3 years ago now, we've just had a team meeting this morning. We've got marketing conversation. We've got lead generation conversation going on. We've got content creation. We've got, now a particular part of the week where we just talk about content. We've got events and everything. And I used to do that all myself. I would never, ever be able to help as many businesses as we're helping today if I'm still doing that myself. So that's how kind of you guys need to think about that, is how do we then leverage that time? If you don't allow the delegation, and this is where, my leadership skills, when I was 26, 27, I was managing 65 people at what is now Virgin Media, running the national network back in the day when NTL was around. So I learned leadership very, very early on. One of the core values that you do see on the wall around in some of the content is about a mentor from experience. So I'm only ever going to teach you what I learned and how that's kind of worked with what's worked well in business right now and what's worked well for me. Delegation, leadership, goal setting, accountability, all of that. Leadership is really, really important in any business, whether you've got one person or whether you've got 50 people. It kind of doesn't matter. If you don't delegate, you're never going to scale and grow your business. So that's kind of the first part. If you don't have a growth mindset and you kind of don't believe in the whole process and how it's going to work, and look, don't get me wrong, I'm not here saying that Mastermind's right for everyone, because it isn't. I'll tell you now, it isn't. It's only right for a certain type of people, and you must have a growth mindset. You must be able to, come into the group and share with them your experiences. And do you know what? Sometimes have a bit of a meltdown if you want. You can come in, you've built the trust up with the guys and go, shit, this isn't working well. I need a hand with this. This is just driving me up the wall. How do I get this content out? I'm trying to close this client. This person's been an absolute pain in the office. Whatever it might be. And, that's where a really powerful thing is you can use the peer group for. But if you don't ask the peer group for help, you're not going to get the support, and then you're not going to get the results that you need. So look, there's a couple of things, when the peer group works really well and kind of when the peer group doesn't work really well. Now, what I actually did last month, I asked my group, what is it? What's the one thing that you get out of being in this group? Why, and we went around the room, and one of them was around obviously about the accountability. So we have quite strict accountability on what you can achieve next month, and we make notes of that, and we make sure that that's the kind of the one thing that we move forwards. But one of the guys said it was really powerful about getting assurance. So you might be trying to do a different type of marketing, you might be trying to do a different type of technology on board in it, but you go into the group and you ask them about validating your offers, validating your offerings, and getting that assurance, which was like really powerful, because we've got the Mastermind community. We've also got the IT experts community, which is now housed in a nice new brand new shiny app. If you want to go and check that out, go and check it out on the website innovate2success.com, and you can download it free from there. So that community is a wider community of tech businesses, and they're all there. Think about the knowledge of all of those people. I did a podcast a little while ago about the LinkedIn for tech businesses. You can go and check that out on the podcast page. But what I referred to there quite a bit was about walking into your networking room with your ideal target market. That is LinkedIn. If you walked into, think about the size of the network you've got in the community and also in the Mastermind group, there's bound to be someone in there who's going to be able to help you out and get you, kind of get you that assurance. Experience from others was another key point that came up about things that people have done that have worked really well. Could be around marketing, could be around leadership, could be around strategy, productivity, the whole thing around the whole, IT experts model. One of the funny things, and I revert back to this as well, is with my peer group, is about understanding. You kind of know what you need to do, and it reminds you what you need to do when you're talking to others. And somebody might be saying, look, I'm having a really problem with this. And you're thinking, do you know what, I should be doing that. Why am I not doing that? I know I need to do that. But I need to bring that up the top of the priority list, and that was a cool thing as well. Support and confidence really was one of the key things. It helps build that confidence for going out and asking for money, going out and asking your clients for their testimonials, or going out and having a better conversation. So rather than just being stuck in the technical side and being known as the techie, as it would be, having you out there as the business leader, driving the business forwards from a strategic point of view, that's what we're trying to achieve. So look, it's only a short podcast today. I just wanted to explain a little bit more about peer groups and how they work. I would absolutely love for you to come and experience how the IT Experts Masterminds works. And all you need to do on this is just click a link in the show notes or visit the website, and you'll see there the brochure, and you'll be able to understand a little bit more about how you can learn how the IT Experts Mastermind can help you take your business to your next level. And that's pretty much it from me today. I'd love for you to go and check out some of the other podcasts over on the podcast page on the website. And if there's anything that you'd like to see, if there's anything you'd like to hear, see whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on an audio version, then just drop us an email or put us a message through the website, and we'll be more than happy to put some content together to help you out. That's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed the show. You're going to have a great day, and I'm going to catch up with you soon. All the best now. So thanks very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, then please remember to subscribe, rate and review. I'd really appreciate that. And also check the show notes out for all the latest developments at the IT Experts Growth Academy. If we haven't already, then let's connect on LinkedIn, YouTube and over at our website at innovate2success.com. Until next time, you look after yourself and I'll catch up with you soon.